Hey friends, this is Jordan, the lead and I guess only developer at O&Co Games. My small team of 3 is still chipping away at our upcoming story-driven technical platformer called Tethergeist. Right off the bat, I wanted to thank everyone for watching my last video, Devlog 0. When I released it, I was hoping for maybe a couple hundred views, and it's already in the 20,000s. I've never experienced anything like this, and all I can say is that I'm so grateful for you guys tuning in and showing genuine interest in our game. Seriously, it means more to us than you'll ever know. Anyway, before I get too far into this devlog, I suppose I should introduce the rest of my team. I'm working with 2 extremely talented artists/storytellers. Noah specializes in storyboarding, animation, and of course, video game art. He's one of the greatest driving forces behind our narrative flow, and he continues to churn out beautiful assets for Tethergeist. He's always ready to challenge my decisions and assumptions, and that open and critical communication we have is something I'm truly grateful for. It's my belief that our critical eye on Tethergeist will make it something so much better than it otherwise could be. Ray, our 3rd member, is also an incredibly talented artist. She's an illustrator and comic book creator with incredible skills in world building and immersive storytelling. Everything she creates has this captivating charm to it. I've been working really closely with the 2 of them to button down the story of Tethergeist, and I've got to say I'm super jazzed about it. We've spent several months mapping out the flow of the game and what the narrative journey will look like for our protagonist, May. With that, we've got a rough idea of what the overworld will look like, so we have a vision of how we want the gameplay to progress. We decided we wanted each chapter in the game to have a hub and 2 sub-chapters. The hubs act as areas for exploration and storytelling. We've got a lot of Easter eggs in these hubs and, of course, branches to secret levels and side stories. The sub-chapters will be the more intensive gameplay where players have to traverse obstacles and explore ways to leverage the unique movement systems each chapter has to offer. More to come on those movement systems in future devlogs. With the flow of our overworld feeling pretty good, I started designing the actual layout and level designs for Chapter 1 of our game. So Chapter 1 is organized into 3 sections: the intro, the hometown, and the start of May's journey. I should point out that a lot of this is still in wireframe mode, so don't be alarmed that the artwork around May is sometimes not even there. It's going to look gorgeous soon, I promise. Anyway, in the introduction to Chapter 1, you'll meet May and her adorable companion Bao, this axolotl-esque spirit blob. I'm still working out the kinks of Bao's animations, but you get the idea. This intro to Chapter 1 will help you understand May's background, learn a bit about her unique culture, and most importantly, learn her controls. So this intro is predominantly a tutorial. I built pretty forgiving obstacles that are designed to teach the player rather than challenge them. So this room, for example, just shows the player what the nectar is for. I built a ledge that May can't jump to on her own. She needs to split and rejoin to make it up there. In my playtests, I've found this obstacle to be a perfect way for players to figure out how the split mechanic works all on their own. Later in the tutorial, we start introducing other elements that will be found throughout Chapter 1. There are these damage tiles that will kill you if you touch them, these walls that the spirit can pass through but the player cannot, platforms that only move when you're in your spirit form, these areas where you aren't allowed to split into your spirit form, and I even built a little section just to show players that they can wall jump. At the end of the tutorial section, an event happens to May. I'll try not to spoil our story too much, so suffice it to say that we introduce some characters here and May blacks out. The next section of Chapter 1 is May's hometown. Here we'll give players a chance to explore her town and talk to the several NPCs that make up her small village. This is where we'll dive a bit more into the story and explain what is motivating May to go on her journey in the first place. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but hopefully you can see, even just from this mock-up, how in-depth the village will be and how much love we're putting into this fantasy world. May comes from a very religious society that resides in the mountains. They're close-knit, loving, and steeped in tradition, which of course can present its own unique set of societal challenges. The last section of Chapter 1 is May's initial departure from her village. This is where the majority of gameplay will happen in this chapter, and thus where the majority of my focus has been as a level designer. I designed a flow of obstacles that get progressively harder as the player improves in their mastery over May's controls. With these core level designs in place, we were ready to start playtesting. We ran several playtests and refined the gameplay quite a bit, but for the sake of time, I'll save details on that for the next video. So that wraps up Devlog 1. We fleshed out the bulk of the story and built all of the gameplay for Chapter 1. There's still quite a bit of stuff we've built that I'll be talking about in future videos very soon. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe and join our Discord server for more Tethergeist goodies. We also finally got our Steam page up, so I put a link to that in the description as well. If this game is something that looks interesting to you, please do us a favor and go wishlist that. We absolutely adore this game, and we're excited to continually share our progress with you. Thanks for watching.